Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US stocks for Friday, April 8, and just with the S&P here, as you know, we've been looking for wave 3 here with an A and a B and a C wave down here, and it's a little bit unsure if this was actually finished yesterday, but seeing this pattern here, it really sort of cements that in as being completed at this particular point in time, but we'll come back to that in the S&P video, but just to let you know, we're looking for an A and a B and a C. Now, this is the same with most stocks, but some stocks, like Meta, for example, have got 5 waves down here. So that's a little bit of an issue. So I'm concerned about tops being in place for some stocks, some markets, and and this is the same for the NASDAQ here as well, the A, the B and the C that we've been looking for. So I won't go into that in any detail now, but just to sort of point that out to you. So yeah, as I mentioned, I'm a little bit concerned about tops being in place. Now, my concern is that in some cases we could look for tops to be in place like this here. So anyway, long story there, not to worry about that too much, but so this move up through here is a possible top for Apple, but at the same time we can also have a top over here as well. So I know it's a little bit confusing, but there'll be a simple solution. So we can go up here as a wave 1 and then pull back for a wave 2, or we can go up to here for a wave C at this point. So we could have a top in here at the moment. We could get one when we get here, but when we get here, when we get those 5 waves in for all of those, for the indices and any other stocks, we're going to have some type of correction coming back anyway, okay? So when that correction comes back, that second high, we'll be able to go long from that point. Now, if it comes down even further, well, we'll be able to have a look at other stocks and pick up the thread, and we'll get a better position on all that to the upside. But as it stands of today, with that S&P that you just looked at and the NASDAQ, this ABC pattern here, if anything goes wrong, that means we need to short it under that point there. Because as I mentioned, some stocks from the top can count as 5 waves down. So that kind of, I think we need to stay open and stay sort of flexible. But now we've got that nice ABC in here. That means that we can go short under that particular level at this point. So, yeah, so I think we've just got that on the 2K and then 1K. So we'll look at the bullish side as well. So in this instance here, we've got this A, B, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, the same as the NASDAQ, but this could be, you could count this as being bearish as well. So in the meantime, we would still push up here, but we could just come down at that point, okay? So that's what we need to be sort of a little bit aware of, and this is the sort of the more bullish count with wave 3 here, an A and a B, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. This pretty much the same. So we're looking at, so that low needs to stay in place here, and then we'll be looking for this as wave 1 and back for wave 2 and then heading up, so we can go long above that high. Now these 2 boxes here, one is from this high and one is from this high, but the balance on those comes in at 175. So if, for example, that we're being bearish, well, then the market would just come to this point and then could also come down at that point. So getting a classic trading levels pattern on the 175, I know I'm being probably a little bit pedantic here and a bit sort of overcautious, but then we can go long again from that point. Once that classic trading, that first high above the level, and once that's breached, you can continue to go on your way. Now also too, if Friday closes strong, then Monday's likely to follow through on that. So if Friday closes weak, then you know that you've got an issue, okay? So that's another way around it as well. So yeah, that's sort of where we are. So I'm just being extra cautious about tops and so on. I don't need to go any closer to the market on this one. This is Amazon here as well. It's the same story here in a long shot as well, without sort of boring you to death, but we've got wave 3 here with an A and a B and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we could also count this here as 5 waves down, as 1 and 2 here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, fourth wave, and the fifth wave here. So having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for that. So that means that we could have we expect a rally anyway. We've got Friday, we're looking for our low, but it is possible. So we just need to be aware. And look, it may not be the case, and I'm just sort of worrying about nothing, but we need to be very cautious about this particular move to the upside here. Now, if you wanted to trade long here, it looks like we've got wave 1 here, doesn't it, and 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So it's probably the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 coming up into here, and then there'll be an A and a B and a C wave here. So if you wanted to trade long, then this would be one way to look at it here. And the other way to look at it here is that we can call this the arrival, the reaction, and then the first high above the level. Then there'll be a little ABC here, because that first high above the level will be 5 waves, and then you could look to add again at that point there for that. Okay, that would be a nice way forward at that point, you know. And yeah, when you trigger this one, the stop can go under here, because that shouldn't be breached again. When that one's triggered, both stops can go up under that particular low at that point there, both of them to that point. So you get one at break even, and then you're adding another one. So you're not expanding your risk, and that's the trick to get to the upside. Rightio. Google here, so it's the same situation again. In this case, to go low, go short below this low, because that's sort of solidly in place now. And even though when this market, let's just say that we have 5 waves up here, we've still got this bigger bearish picture of an A and a B and a C wave up here. Yeah, so there's a few things here on this. Let me just double check that there. I've checked the cash market. But yeah, the same thing applies here as well. You can also look to go long at this point. So I'll just plonk that in there. This is 100 ticks. So go to the 5 ticks to look at the bearish count I think we've got here. Oh no, it's still just the same things. Well, we've got this top in play here because it's just a little bit higher than this one here. So, but once again, we can look at it as an A and a B and a C down here. But if that's breached, then we're short at that point. Okay, that's just a given. We could work our way to the upside here. So yeah, buying new highs across here would be fine at that point, and the stop needs to go under here for that. This is Meta, and with this situation here, we've got a different situation here. I mean, this is a big stock, so we had that new high here, and then we've had 5 waves down here. So in this case, the market can have a little 5 waves up here for the A wave, then the B wave coming in 3 waves here, and then 5 waves up for the C wave here into that 230 area, and then come down from that point. If you can see that you've got this as 1, 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5 here, and then the ABC pattern, then you could also look to short under this level here as well, because that shouldn't be breached at that point. Because if this was going to continue to move up here and make another high, which is likely based on what we're looking at with, you know, the market. So yeah, but like I say, I'm just being extra cautious. Markets don't always finish off the way that you want them to, and the bigger stocks end up leading to the downside. I mean, in 2 sessions we could be topping out in the S&P, you know, in the S&P, if that's wave 3 and 4, or in the S&P and NASDAQ, in like 2 sessions we could be making a new high. We could have a top there anyway, you know. So yeah, look, I'm just being cautious. You know, looking at this sort of black and white, you know, black is black and white is white, rather than black being white and white being black. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. I mean, it's that simple, really. So we just need to be cautious in some of these stocks. Okay. Yeah. So Microsoft is another one as well. I'll just start off here because this is where we were yesterday. We looked to go long above here, and I had this as wave 5 here, but still we're long here. But now that we're sort of settled in above the level, we can also look to be short. Well, any of these, I'll bring it up from this one to this one, but on the daily chart it will be there. But we can bring it up to there, so it shouldn't be breached at that time, at that point. And if it is breached, then we need to be on the short side, because you know the bullish side, this A, B, and C here is not in place. And yeah, the other thing with this one sort of bugs me a little bit too, because it caught me off guard a little bit, because it is 5 waves up here, but it hasn't just quite made a high above here and above this one here. They just, yeah, anyway, splitting hairs once again, but that one's a bit higher. So yeah, that's the bullish count. So it dropped a little bit over the market size, but we can look at it as 1 and 2 and 3. I don't think we can get 5 waves out of that. Looks like 1 and 2 to here actually, but doesn't really matter. It could be 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. It doesn't matter. This is the 38.2% retracement level here. That's why if you always just grab the last high and low here, I think I may have grabbed it from here or the other one. Yeah. So because if this is bearish, this could also be wave 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, and then coming back for wave 4 here, and then going down for wave 5. You know, that was the other side to this. But I'm not seeing it like that at this point. But yeah, when you put this here and this here on your Fibonacci extensions, that means that the 23.6 is important, the 38 point is important, the 50 is important, the 61.8, all of these are important. And then if you can always just gravitate over to the closest largest number, that gives you something else a little bit concrete to work with as well. Yeah, so I want to go to the daily chart on this and just explain a few things here. So yeah, that little move we had last time up here is in 5 waves, so that could actually create a top here. And even if it doesn't create a top, it could still move to here and then have a top at that point, so to finish off that wave 5. So I'm just being really pedantic and being very careful about this whole situation. I know we're in the 50-60% mark here. It's not like we've had the best looking ABC correction down here as well. Yeah, I mean, I can look at it. I could probably put this over here as well, and look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to this point, as 5 waves here, and then an A and a B and a C, like we're looking at the banks with, in a way. So that's possible. So there's a few things that need to resolve here, and I know that some folks think that the market's bullish and some think that it's bearish. I don't think either of them until I've got enough sort of evidence to convince myself. And I know that the tricky patches that we need to get through, you know, and these are the tricky patches at the moment. And yeah, so I'm always concerned about wave 4s. Yeah, anyway, that's where that is. Let me just check here on the 2K chart. I don't know what I've got there. Okay, this is the bearish count here. I mean, this is considering this being wave 5 up here. It's probably not the case, but it doesn't matter either way. If that's breached, then we need to be short, right? So this could just come, you know, up to here and then move down like Facebook is doing, you know. Otherwise, we'll treat this as wave 4 here as an ABC here and drop that back down to here. And then we still need to go through another version of all of this over here as well, and keeping this over here to here, and even if the market goes up to here, and we can still need to treat that as a bearish count. We can also look at it as a bullish count, and I'll be doing that as well. But in both cases, being bullish or bearish, like I've mentioned before, we're still going to see the market pull back, you know. So when it pulls back, we can look at this being the bullish side at that point. We could improve on that, but that's just to give us a starting point. But just I just want you to understand how I'm thinking about all of this, you know. And yeah, I mean, it's nice to be right all the time, but that's just not the case. So we have to take extra measures to be sort of careful about things, and that's all I'm doing. So yeah, anyway, so Tesla, also the same thing as well, just being a little bit cautious here. We've got a high in place, and we can count this as 5 waves down. So you know, this is a logical count as well. From all of this here is an A and a B and a C wave down here, then an A and a B and 5 waves up here. It counts okay. So this is in the Facebook sort of zone, you know. So it means that we've got some stocks looking kind of more bearish than others, and then we've also got the bullish move, you know, with the S&P and all the rest of it. So yeah, but anyway, there's some stocks we can go long on and some we can't. So when we see this one here and we've got 5 waves down the top, well, it'd be sort of silly to go long here, wouldn't it? You know, I mean, the market could just continue to go up there and I've done something wrong somewhere, but I can count 5 waves down here, so from the top. So that's an issue, you know. Look, it might be something weird like an A wave and a B wave and a C wave all jammed up there and the market moves up there, but when we're looking at it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, then, you know, kind of got to respect that a little bit, you know, and find my work around that in a way, you know. But yeah, you can count this a little bit differently as well. So just, I think on this chart here, we've got the more bullish count here, but it's hard to sort of see this here as wave 4 here, because I can see that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So it'd have to be an A and a B and a C, and I just don't know if that's the case. So I'm not prepared to go long on Tesla, even though I could be totally wrong and we could have a really nice trend here, you know. I just don't think it's the one to go long on, you know. And also too, 1 is the strongest number in the market and it's coming down, and it's like I kind of see them as a magnet, you know, numbers, and the steel will stick to the magnet, but it's got to kind of build up enough strength to sort of get away from it, you know, in either direction. It's got to kind of, you know, do some muscle work, and that takes time. And yeah, but I think that we're a little bit exposed on this one, so I'll just leave that. Square. Now Square's got the same as the other ones. It's got a nice A wave, B wave, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here for the C wave for a wave 4. So we can go long on this one here, but I'll just remove that. And I think the best way to handle this would be to have a classic trading levels pattern sitting on the 130, because the 130 is really important because it's the top of group 1 here. So this trade here would just be to the 150 at that point, okay? So it's this pattern here for that. That's the 130. We want the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, the ABC, and then back up here again on that. So that will be in here, and if we get that, we can trade to here and we'll just get out at the 150. And I'm still sort of thinking about this a little bit in terms of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. I know wave 4 overlaps this. We could look at it as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, but I'm a little bit concerned about how this is going to move with the banks, you know. So the banks have got me sort of, have had me on edge for a while. So yeah, look, trade from here to here, get out, and we're just going to wait, you know. One day, if we get all of this as support, if we do, then we'll be going long above that. I've got that. I'm not dyslexic, I'm just thick. So that would be above the B wave there. That would you know, that would be the classic trading levels pattern, the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, the ABC. This is the bigger picture of that. This is the same version of this, but it's just a bigger picture. So because it would catch the trend to the upside, but I don't know if it's going to come. You know, I don't think it's going to come, because when I'm looking at the banks, with BAC here now, I've just gone back to the other count because it's pretty clear we've got 1 here and 2 here, and then all the way down here for, well, all the third wave here, the fourth wave and the fifth wave now. So yeah, I mean, we've come a long way down here, you know. So in this instance here, while the markets are rallying, then this is going to rally off its low here. And it will give us something to work with on this low here. I'm not going to put that there today, because it's not going to do me any good, because even if it does make a new low here, I'm not sure about that, but yeah, there could be another low 1 and 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the third wave, fourth and fifth, but I'm not worried about that. When it comes back up here as an ABC correction up here somewhere, may not even go that high, might just go to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree over here, you know. Wherever it goes, I need this price action here so we can short it. We can find ways to short it, you know. So yeah, but that's, you know, I mean, you can see that it's bearish, you know. And from the top here we got 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here. A little bit wonky, but it's all okay, I guess, to a point. But it's hard to look at this as wave 1 here. I mean, I can squeeze 5 waves out of it, but it's not very, you know, it's not that crash hot. But even if it was wave 1 coming down to here, I mean, it's pretty low back for wave 2, isn't it? You know, and like the banks are looking weak, so, you know, yeah. So anyway, we'll be looking for short trades, but we're not ready yet. This has helped me confirm that we've got 5 waves down. So all we need now is an ABC correction, and we can look to short the B wave in all of this. We can many roads to Rome. We can short it in lots of different ways, but we'll just see. And we'll be catching that third wave down here. So I mean, yeah, so, you know, as I mentioned before, this move up here, I thought that yesterday when we talked about it could be the B wave coming up here. Oh, sorry, the C wave. There's an A and a B and a C wave for this B wave up here, you know. But I don't think that's going to come that far. It might do it on some banks, but not here. But this rally here will be in line, you know, if the S&P and NASDAQ take, say, 2 or 3 sessions to get up there, well, this will take 2 or 3 sessions to get up there, and then it'll collapse. And that's the same with, much the same with Morgans as well. And Morgans have pretty much got the same sort of pattern as Goldman. So there's a nice case for an A and a B and a C here, and then 1 and 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third, fourth and fifth here. I mean, we could look at it as an A and a B and a C and get away with that, I suppose. But I just can't see it moving back up to here. Anyway, we'll just watch it. You know what I mean? If I'm wrong, and this can make it, some of the banks may make it back up here, some of them won't, but it'll just be, this will be the A wave, and this will be, well, that would have to be the B wave low there, and then the C wave here. So yeah, anyway, these little B waves here, after we get our first 5 waves up here, when that's first completed, and then we get our pullback here, that low is going to be where we can short it safely at the first instance. We may be able to get a better position up here, but the risk will be higher as well. But that B wave will make it easy at that point. And if we're looking at a third wave coming down, well then, you know, we're coming down to 120, 115. Yeah, you know, we're going to be pulled into the 100 here for sure, you know. This is a big magnet, the number 1. So anyway, we've got that in our back pocket, and we're looking at that. So we're looking at the strongest stocks, and we're looking at some of the weakest. Alrighty, I'll leave it all at that. And yeah, just remember, if Friday closes strong, then Monday will follow through on that. So that's your kind of sort of sentiment safety net, so to speak. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the weekend.